What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Formula America podcast. We're your hosts, Kurt and Dylan. And oh my God, Dylan, Zandvoort was chaotic. I don't even know how to explain. Yeah, it definitely delivered. And it didn't even rain. We thought that it was going to take rain to make it deliver, but no.
There was threats of it, the entire race, and it seemed like it sprinkled here and there. But yeah, there was no rain, and we just had some very menacing rookies out there.
The rookies definitely. Well, some of them stepped up. Some of them had some issues. The rookies were all over the place.
Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll came out in full force, did his best to ruin everybody's day, and somehow ended up in P7.
I don't know. After Lance's practice and quali, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
All right, quali Q1, as soon as the light goes green, Lance strolls into the wall. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Just full on Lance Stroll. And I was like, oh, awesome. He's back at the grid. He's going to cause some chaos back there. Kind of, rubbed a little bit, got a new set of tires, safety car hooked him up, and all of a sudden he's in the race. What the hell happened here?
Dude, Aston Martin really surprised me. I thought it was a one-off in Hungary, but no, they came back and they did it again. Double points finish. They were looking strong. Fernando Alonso's radio was hilarious.
It always is.
I love it when Fernando's one of the funniest ones on the radio. Whenever he is not happy at all, his radio messages, he doesn't try to hide that whatsoever.
Oh no, he comes in full force. It's awesome.
It's like, how's the balance? How am I supposed to know? You put me in this traffic. And then he's just like, oh, just let me pit. And then they pit him and he's in the back, but still comes out and winds up, P8, I think.
Yeah, he came out somehow right behind Lance.
They asked him to swap towards the end of the race. I don't know why.
I missed that.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know why they did, but for some reason, I guess, Stroll wanted his son to be number one on the team.
Yeah, I believe that. I was too busy doing my happy dance watching Lando sit on the side of the track crying.
Are we going to talk about that right now?
Yeah,
already. We just started the podcast. You were doing a happy dance. I was busy breaking everything in sight. I could not believe when I saw the smoke coming out of the car. I had already resigned to a P2 finish, and then all of a sudden, we're not even going to get that.
Yeah, that went from, Lando's lead was going to be from 9 points to 17 points, and now it's 36 points. It's like, whoa, did not see that coming.
Look, man, racing is not always fair. She can be pretty cruel, but it just goes to show you, man, it doesn't take much. It doesn't have to be your fault. And, a lot of people are like, oh, Lando's completely out, but you never know. I mean, Oscar could have an issue at some point too. It's not over yet.
That's completely true. Yes, that makes it a whole lot more daunting. 36 is a lot more than 9, but we got a lot of races to go.
Yeah. What is there? I think 8 races left.
Yeah, I think so. And they came out, we're doing this a day late. But they did come out and say that it was not total engine failure on Lando's car, that they believe that a small part broke that created an oil leak in the engine auto shutdown. And so there's a chance he might not even need to take a new power unit.
Yeah, because that was a big risk, is that he needed a new power unit. That would be over the limit. He would start from the back of the grid in the next race. And then now you got 2 races back to back where essentially, getting points or getting any decent amount of points would be pretty hard.
So he might not need a new power unit yet.
Hopefully not. Fingers crossed on there. And right, their point difference is 34 points right now.
34.
Not 36. Yeah. Still a lot.
And talking about grid positions, did you hear about Lewis Hamilton's grid drops?
Okay, what is going on with that? He has a penalty for next race, does he not?
He does, for the dumbest thing I think I've ever read. And that's saying something, because the stewards were working their asses off this race to be stupid. All right. Hamilton has a 5-point grid penalty drop, five place grid.
5 places. I mean.
Yeah, got it. 5 places. Because in the reconnaissance lap, they were told that they're going to wave double yellow flags when you come around the last turn, just to, protect everybody that's out on the grid. And so they said you need to significantly reduce your speed when you come through there. Hamilton reduced his speed by 20 miles an hour and braked 79 meters before the normal braking zone. And the steward said, you did not reduce speed significantly enough. So 5-place grid penalty.
I need to go back and watch that because that seems pretty ridiculous that the rules are that subjective. There should be a percentage of speed or a mile per hour, like in the pit lane, and an actual distance. And for those, newer fans, the reconnaissance lap is before the race starts. When the cars go out to the grid, they can either go to the grid or then come through the pits and do another reconnaissance lap. It's just basically a lap checking out the track.
Yep.
But yeah, there's people on the grid, the getting ready for all the teams were there, the celebrities and everybody, and they're saying he came in too hot.
Yep.
Subjectively.
He did slow down. They show on the telemetry, he let off the gas, slowed down, and hit his brakes almost 100 meters before he normally does. Not good enough, apparently.
You can imagine the stewards at that race now are looking around corners for either Lewis Hamilton or Carlos Sainz.
I'd be way more worried about Carlos Sainz, man. I just want to talk to him. It's fine.
Just going to talk to him. Not going to do anything crazy. Like, you better watch out. That Spaniard is pissed.
How did he get a 10-second penalty?
I don't understand that. So, I mean, by the law of the book, I guess, they were saying that Lawson had the apex of the corner, so it was his corner. But if you look at the playback, Carlos is so far to the outside, he even noticeably jerked the wheel more to the outside.
Yeah.
And Lawson just came across like he wasn't even there. I think at the very least, it should have been a racing incident.
Yeah.
But for Carlos to get a penalty for that, I would have been hot.
And a 10-second penalty at that. That didn't make any sense. And then you're not going to penalize Antonelli dive bombing. Was that Leclerc? Leclerc dive bombing Russell. Okay, that one's totally fine. They're like the amount of other things that were very similar that happened, and those aren't. That's always my issue with the stewards. At least be consistent. You're not even close to being consistent.
Well, to be fair, I think that they were probably working on the Charles Leclerc incident when Kimi Antonelli came and took care of that problem.
Yeah, they definitely. Kimi Antonelli definitely solved that problem.
Did Kimi get a penalty for that?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He got 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's and then he got another penalty.
Then he got 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. So, yeah. Antonelli was racing great, right? He was in P6 at the time, fighting for P5, and then dropped to basically last.
Yeah, which is surprising because Kimi Antonelli has not been doing well since Canada, I believe. And so he was finally having a good race and then just got a little too ambitious going on an inside line into that turn and understeered straight into Charles Leclerc.
Straight into him. It was.
Which, as an Italian, is probably not the move that you want to make right before you go
to your home race.
I saw a meme. It was like the Italians revoking Kimi Antonelli's citizenship.
Antonelli was definitely on one. And then it was in the exact same spot, understeering, you got Lewis Hamilton making a very rare mistake.
Yeah.
That Ferrari must be hard to drive.
Yeah, man. I know we've mentioned it before. I feel so bad for Lewis. It's like you're trying to go and pursue this dream. You have one last ditch effort to try to reclaim some sort of glory before you leave. And it's just getting worse and worse. And I really hope, I know that he's got a lot of hope that with the new regulations being more of a power regulation instead of the aerodynamics and all that, that he's hoping it'll come back to him. But man, it's just looking at this point, like his entire legacy is just going to fizzle into nothingness, like a Vettel or a Raikkonen, perhaps.
Yeah. Raikkonen still stayed awesome just because Kimi was so awesome, but
Yeah, because he doesn't care. Lewis, when he's boohoo crying all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one, you never see that, or rarely do you see Lewis.
I think so much of that was the banking. When you watch their slow-mo replay that was head on to him, it showed he was definitely understeering, and then the car hit the top of the bank where it flattened out, and he only had 2, maybe part of a third tire on the ground. And at that point, you're just along for the ride. There was nothing. He just drifted too high.
It was basically like a skateboard grinding a rail at that point.
It was kind of game over. That was a little bit heartbreaking to watch for Lewis.
That was. So from Lewis, one of the longtime greats, to another rookie. Let's talk about Isaack Hadjar, man.
Bro,
Isaack Hadjar did phenomenal. Q3. He qualied in what? P5?
P4.
P4 quality? Like, come on, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. And he raced. I mean, he would have, if it wasn't for Lando going out, been P4 at the end of the race on merit.
Yeah, which is amazing.
And just to poke the bear for the fun of it, I wonder if he could have challenged Max in any way, but was like, no, I don't think I want to challenge him. I'm really happy right here. Let's not rock the boat.
Yeah, I wonder that too, because, if he caught up to him on track, there's got to be that, like, I'm sure the team would be like, all right, Isaac, you're clear to race. Be careful.
Yeah.
be very careful. And then, I'm sure Max, I don't know, man, that would have been a tough one. I think the racer inside him, he would have went after him. He probably wouldn't have went after him as hard as he would somebody else. He would have kept it as clean as possible, but man, that would have been exciting.
Even Sky, I watched it on Sky Sports, so I had Crofty. Brundle wasn't there, but Crofty even said when Max came in and pitted for a set of mediums, like later in the race, Crofty was like, that's a great idea. You kind of have a free pit stop because you can go race against Norris and hopefully catch him. And it's not like Hadjar is going to try and come get your spot. And he was like, not that, it's illegal for teams to make, I'm just saying though, I don't think that Hadjar is gonna, it's like,
it's not allowed, but we all know that when you come up against somebody in the big sister team, like, especially when it's Max Verstappen and the other car,
and you're a rookie.
Down, you're going to tread a little lightly there.
But does that mean, so we have Hadjar who finished P3, Lawson finished, in 12th, way further down, but Yuki was only in 9th. Is that Racing Bull a better car than the Red Bull?
Man, that's the question right there. I think that it's very track dependent, but I think that this weekend in a normal driver's hands, yes.
Yeah.
When you add in the max factor, that kind of changes the tide. But I think just car for car at Zandvoort, I think that Racing Bulls was the faster too.
I think so too, actually, which is really funny.
It is because that car is not supposed to be like, it's supposed to be that Red Bull. But I mean, we all know how tricky that Red Bull is to drive, and to get the most out of it, you have to be Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
But that being said, I would like to give a shout out to Yuki Tsunoda, because he did pretty damn well compared to especially how he's been doing. He came in P9. He's got points, so a double point finish. He was stoked for that. For those points. What is P9's? What, 2 points, 3 points?
Yeah, 2 points.
And so I know he was happy for that. He feels, and I think everybody saw, like, he needs some points to kind of solidify his spot, because that's not a given for next year. It hasn't been announced yet. So yeah, I think he was happy for that, and I think that's a big question too. What is going to go on next year with that Red Bull, that second seat?
Nobody knows.
And it's almost like nobody, like, I know Isaac was asked about it, and he was like, yeah, they're like, do you want the seat? And he's like, yeah, I'd take it.
It's going to be different next year. It's a different car. It might not be such a nightmare to drive. And I think with Laurent Mekies at the helm, I think that Yuki continues in that car. He's not going to rock the boat. He's going to, hey, we got new car regulations. We're all aware this car is a bit of a nightmare to drive. I bet we don't rock the boat.
I think that would be the smart choice. And I think you're right. With Laurent Mekies, I think his main goal is kind of stabilize the boat right now.
Yep.
Get everything smooth. I think if Horner was still there, it'd be like, nah, either it's going to be a Hadjar or a left field punt, maybe Arvin Lindblad or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think Laurent Mekies will keep everything as it is, which I think it should be. Yes. Isaac's a rookie. Give him another year. Let him get, you see, he still has issues sometimes. Let him get comfortable in the sport, and then make that decision later.
Along those lines, I've started to see a lot of, not a lot, but I'm starting to see a little bit of hate being thrown at Antonelli. And it's like, I don't think that's fair either. He's a rookie, and he is one of the youngest rookies of all time. And he got lucky. He got thrown into the big boy team out of the gate, not, into Sauber, but there's just a lot more eyeballs when you're in a faster car. He's just a rookie. And I think he's doing rookie things, but he ain't going anywhere.
And I think that's it. Everybody that you see that coming from is like, well, you got put in the big show, and now you're like, do you really deserve it? Because you're so inconsistent. But again, like you said, he is a rookie. Yeah, he got thrown up into that big team, but I mean, that wasn't his. I mean, yeah, they put him there.
You remember what a menace Max was when he was a rookie in his second year and his third year and kind of his fourth year as well? I mean,
Max Crash Staffen?
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, Toto's looking at that. He's like, these mistakes are going to be made, but you know what? Max Verstappen flourished into what he is now. So
yeah.
Oh, well.
I say we go to heroes and zeros. Oh, I want to make a couple of points I wrote down. Oscar Piastri, first Grand Slam ever. Qualified P1, won the race, led every lap of the race, and fastest lap of the race.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for Oscar.
Way to go. Max's pass on Lando into T2.
Well, yeah. Ballsy.
Holy crap, dude. When he hit that sand and went sideways, I was like, ah!
I think myself and most everybody else, and Lando included, thought that was a wrap. Like, oh, Max is done. And how many times have we seen him catch something that anybody else would have been in the wall?
Yeah.
I think Max, and the only other one that was like notable I can remember is if you remember Fernando Alonso in China like 2 years ago, that final turn.
Yep.
Like he was almost completely sideways. And those two are some of the only ones that can come back from something like that.
Not only did Max catch it, he caught it and completed the pass. Yeah. It stayed in P2. Like,
that guy, he's something else, man. It is crazy. But yeah, I mean, it just showed you that gamble to start on the softs. It paid off. What else did they have to lose?
Yeah.
Especially if it was going to rain, which everybody thought. But yeah, that was great. That was awesome.
And the tires just didn't degrade. Everyone was like, the soft tires are good for 12 to 15 laps. Well, here we are on lap 20. He's not really dropping. Like the tires just aren't. I don't know what it is about these cars, and I'm sick of it. Maybe Pirelli's doing too good of a job. I don't know. Do we need to go back to Goodyear?
Yeah, right. Put the tread back on the tires.
Like, come on. Those are my big points on it. If we want to go to heroes and zeros, we'll probably hit a lot of the other highlights.
All right, let's move on to heroes and zeros. We need to get like heroes and zeros music.
We do.
All right, let's start off. Where do you want to start? Heroes or the zeros?
I got
a lot of
quite a few alternates on both. So,
all right.
Since can we agree, just for the sake of changing things up, that Ferrari is on both of our zeros list and doesn't really need to be mentioned again?
I think, Ferrari is definitely down
I think they're kind of the top of the zeros list this week. Let's do three other ones.
It sucks. It sucks for Ferrari, but hopefully they'll have a better outing next week. All right, moving on.
Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
And really at no fault of his own, but that dude, the F1 gods just are not a fan.
No, I don't know what happened with Carlos, but he got some of that bad Charles Leclerc luck or something when he moved over to Williams. It's not good.
It's sad to watch. And I liked his commentary, and they're like, we have a penalty. He's like, who has a penalty? Me? Yeah. No, there's no way. You're joking. There's no way I have a penalty. Like, yep, you do. Sorry about that, big guy.
It's like, I will be going to see the steward.
Yes.
Yeah. And the fact that he was like, there was one clip of him where he was damn near in tears afterwards. Yeah. I know he was so frustrated. He was already down in the back of the pack, and then he got slapped with that penalty. It's I don't know. I feel for him.
I feel for the guy. He's a zero, not of his own fault, but just damn, bro. I'm sorry.
Carlos and Lewis, they just need to go somewhere and just like hug it out. And
Leclerc's like, I've got a therapist for this. Don't worry. He's great.
Oh, man.
Number 2 on my list is Lando Norris.
Yeah, again, to no fault of his own.
No fault of his own. Lando had a great race. He was top of the timing charts for practice, all the free practices, and he got pinched out by Oscar by 12 thousandths of a second in quali. Yep. And you can't even be mad about that, right? Like you can't even be mad about that.
Small.
It's so small. And then just the engine failure, you're just like, damn, but I'm sorry. And then my last one, I'm throwing the Stewarts under the bus, and I might back the bus up a couple of times to run them over. I am so sick of them intervening in races. I'm so sick of them. Why does Lewis have a 5-place grid penalty next week? The hell? That's like, really? I hate the inconsistencies and the affecting of races. And it's just gross. Why do we not have a professional steward body? Why are they still volunteers? Like, I could go on. So yeah, the stewards are my last one. Your turn.
All right, my zeros. I obviously have similar zeros, but I'll go with some alternates on here. You know what? As good as he did, I'm still gonna give him a 0. I have to. I'm gonna give it to Lance Stroll.
Yeah, you have to give it to him. Good God.
All right, just because he finished P7, like
through the pure luck of the team strategy. And I don't even know if it was the strategy. He screwed up so bad that he had to get new tires that it worked out for him.
Yes, exactly. He found himself there in dumb luck. But 2 crashes, those poor mechanics, they had to break curfew to repair the car. And it's just like, and then
that first crash in practice was gnarly.
Oh, yeah. And that immediately, as soon as that happened, I was like, that's the same turn Danny hit. And you're watching, you're like, Lance has little fragile baby hands.
He does.
Did they break again?
Please break.
And then
give Felipe Drugovich a chance.
I know, dude. But no. But yeah, he so crashed twice. I like it when I was listening to the F1 TV broadcast and when he hit that piece of carbon on the track, DC was like, it almost looks like he did that on purpose. They're like, of course, no. And then Jolene Palmer was quick to be like, no racing driver would actually do that on purpose. But I think it's so funny that
you're right. No racing driver would do that on purpose. But we're talking about Lance.
I'm not talking about a racing driver. I'm talking about Lance Stroll. All right, so my second 0. I'm gonna go with Kimi. Man, he was on it for a good one. He was having his comeback performance, and then just a stupid mistake took out Charles Leclerc. And I know he went and apparently apologized to Fred Vasseur and stuff. I think a lot of that was just trying to save his place in Italy and in the culture. But yeah, Kimi it was a poor mistake, but he made it. And then the last one, I'm going to go with not just Carlos, but Carlos and Liam. I think together, that pairing, it was so funny when Carlos came over the radio. He was like, this freaking guy.
It's always this guy.
That's so funny. I love it when they get spicy like that on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my 3 zeros for this week.
I think those are fair. Plus Ferrari at the top of the list.
Yes. 3 zeros plus Ferrari.
Yeah.
Gosh.
All right. Who are your heroes?
All right. Heroes. Man, I got a lot here. Let me see. I'm gonna go with another rookie, Oliver Bearman. Pit lane start to P6. That's his best finish. I think he did P7 when he started for Ferrari last year when he subbed in. Man, for somebody that has been having a tough go at things lately, hasn't really been doing much. He had a great weekend. So definitely got to give it to Ollie. Let's see. The other rookie, Isaac Hadjar, man.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing drive. Even though people were saying, oh, he got given the podium, I don't give a damn. He still did amazing in quali.
If he finished P4, I'd be saying the same damn thing. It was just a little bit of a cherry on top that he got to do the podium.
He was holding off not only Charles Leclerc, but also George Russell. Didn't flinch. Charles Leclerc was throwing things up on the inside, trying to throw him off his game. He was rock steady the whole time.
Yep.
So Isaac Hadjar hopefully he'll continue because he had a little lull as well. If so, I still think that he is on track to be Rookie of the Year.
I agree.
Also, for that team, for VCAR or for Racing Bulls, that was their best result since Pierre Gasly got a P3 in Baku back in 2021, I believe.
Really? I didn't know that.
One of them.
That totally. Now that you say that, that makes sense. But yeah.
So good for them.
Yeah.
Let's see. The other one, I'm gonna go with. I'll go with Albon. Albon was so happy at the end of that race.
P15 to P5.
Yeah, that is a hell of a drive.
Made Williams 5 places up in the first 10 corners.
Yep. And everybody thought that Carlos Sainz was going to get there and within a couple races just be wiping the floor with Alex because he was washed up. Alex is holding his own.
Yep.
And Alex is showing that right now that is his team. That team has come up and built around him. And he's great at it.
That's because Sainz is still crying in the background, unfortunately.
So sad for Sainz. I feel so bad for him.
All right, I've got some alternates here. I'm going to give it to Oscar Piastri. What a masterclass of a weekend! Grand Slam against a teammate that has historically dominated at this track, won it last year, seemed to be dominating it this time, top of every chart. And, awesome job. I was laughing when Lando crashed and they were, doing the safety car laps around it as they pulled the car off. And Crofty was like, I bet Oscar just hates to see Lando's car parked up on the side right there. I'm sure he's, driving by that somewhat upset. And I was like, he's driving by pointing and laughing. I don't know what you're talking about, Crofty. There's not a sad bone in that dude's body right now.
He's got that song in his head. He's like, "Do you come from a land down under?" He's so happy. All the pressure's off now. Come on. He's not going to say it, and he was very diplomatic about it afterwards. But inside
he was doing a happy dance.
Happy. Yeah, even though he would never do it in real life.
I'm going to give it to Aston Martin.
Yeah, they were my alternate. They're definitely on there.
I had Hadjar and Albon on here too. Aston Martin, double points finish. I don't even know how. Right, like they just all of a sudden, like the race ended, and it was like, oh, holy shit, double points finish.
Yeah, from as upset as Alonso was at the beginning and how low down they were running, I thought it was over. But 2 races in a row now, double points.
So happy for them. And I've got one of two that I'm going to give it to the rookies as a whole for showing up and just making this a banger of a weekend, whether you were a menace or doing really well. The rookies.
They played their part.
All right. So I'm going to give it to the rookies as a whole. And I'm going to have one, because we haven't mentioned them at all. One alternate is Haas, double points finish.
Yeah. Good for them.
So yeah.
Haas is now, they are still in P9, but they are now 7 points behind Kick, which is crazy to say.
Yeah.
But 7 points behind Kick Sauber.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, if you're Carlos Sainz, how upset are you that, for one, you're like, okay, Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion, comes to replace me. That's fine. And then with the poor run that Lewis has been having, you're Carlos Sainz, you're having a tough go of things down there in Williams, and you're just looking at your old seat like he's not even doing anything with it.
Yeah.
I would be so upset.
I'd be a little spicy. That's
the other thing I would like to know is now we have more new Charles Leclerc memes. Remember the one before where he was sitting in like the lawn chair, and now the one with him on the hill, and then he's got the phone at one point.
Who gave him a phone? Where did he get a phone from?
And that was during where you're like, was that in his pocket the whole time?
Yeah.
So Kim Illman did a video yesterday and came out and was talking about how Charles Leclerc's personal photographer happened to be stationed on that hill for the race. And so when Charles got stranded out there, he just went up to him and gave him his phone so that he could watch the rest of the race on the phone. Which is just so sad. You're sitting up on that hill, just watching everything go around. Your car is down there smoldering, still smoking from the crash.
And the photographer's like, please don't go through the photos. Please don't go through the photos. All the Charles Leclerc memes I have stored in there will not go over well.
And then Charles, if you look, somebody posted a thing, I guess on Google Maps, they already put like Charles Leclerc's hill and where Lando's hopes and dreams died.
Let's go to predictions. Sad. I am excited about this one.
Oh, yeah. I bet you are.
Is this where Kurt's hopes and dreams die for the predictions?
We'll see. I actually, oh no. Okay. I just looked back at my predictions.
On pole, I had Oscar Piastri.
On pole, I had Lando Norris. You got me by 12 thousandths of a second.
Ask any racer, Kurt. Any real racer.
Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
All right. P3, I had Leclerc, which was poor guy.
P3. So I did some swapping. I think I had Max in P3. Yep.
Which you almost had.
I almost did if it wasn't for.
But because of that, I moved Max up to P2 so we'd be different.
And moved him right into the right spot.
So check. Who did you have in P2?
P2, I had Oscar Piastri. The wrong driver.
P1, I had Oscar Piastri. That was another nailed it.
Yep. Good job. P1, I had Mr. Lando Norris.
Wild card, I said we were going to have a safety car this weekend. And I even thought it was light. And I was going into the weekend being like, when we get to this, I'm going to up it to 2 safety cars. Because just saying there's 1 safety car is not that wild. But I think I covered the spread.
Yep, you did.
No matter what.
You got it. I had 2 DNFs. So
you got it?
I got that one. I have 2+ DNFs.
So I got 5 points. How many points did you get, Kurt?
I got just the wild card.
So 2 points.
Dang it, man.
All right, you're still in the lead. 22-21, 1 point lead.
All right. I'll take it. Hey, ask any racer. All right, now let's move on to fantasy.
I haven't even looked at it. Is it bad?
I am looking at fantasy now. For us, I have moved down 1 spot. I am down to P9 now, and you have moved up to P10.
Ooh, I moved up 1 spot. Let's see here.
We are close.
Who hooked it up for me this weekend? Man, I got points across the board. Piastri scored 90 points. Poor Signs only got 1. Ocon, oh man, I had Hadjar, 33 points from him.
Yep, I had him.
It was a good points haul.
Ooh. I had Hadjar, but I also had Lawson and Antonelli and Norris.
And Norris got -10.
No, but I also had Aston Martin as my team, so that helped out with 41 points there.
So you and I have a 22-point gap in fantasy that you're beating me by right now.
Dang, that's close.
That's
nothing.
Real close. Yeah, I scored 260 points this weekend. That's first place in fantasy is still Advantage Max. Then we got Seat Full of Water. Yep. He's got a good Seat Full of Water Racing. Womp Womps. Providence Racing. My Car's 1. Surefire. That guy sounds new. Has Surefire been there?
He's been there.
Pod Squad.
Okay.
Rohan's Team Shui. We are checking, and I round out the top 10 at Mad Max Motorsports.
Very nice.
Very nice. So,
man, the top 2, Advantage Max and Seat Full of Water, are only separated by 271 points, which is a good weekend right there.
It's a good weekend. It's about the gap between Oscar and Lando right now.
Oh, man. It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. It's just a good weekend. That's all it is. I didn't mean that in a bad sense, but that is kind of the gap right now.
You're right. All right. Well, what do we have coming up next? We are going to Italy.
We are going to the Temple of Speed.
The Pirelli Gran Premio d'Italia.
Ferrari's home race where McLaren is going to wipe the floor with everyone and probably win by 20 seconds.
We are, but let's not forget we have that turn 1 chicane that always brings.
Is this going to be the McLaren double DNF weekend?
I think that, look, Lando has already said he's given it everything he's got now. I think that this is a strong possibility of a double DNF turn 1 for McLaren.
It's going to happen. So, they have to have a double DNF before the end of the year.
They're going to. It's come close in Canada. It's going to happen because somebody is going to eventually have to get desperate, try to make something stick, and it's going to happen. They can't be nice friends forever. Not when it's this close.
And Lando's going to have to pull something out, and crashing them both out is better than letting Oscar widen the gap. So
yeah. And hey, we saw last year Oscar was a beast around this chicane.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
A double DNF lap 1, turn 1 would be epic.
We might get to see Lando parked on top of Oscar like
Max on top of Lewis. Can you imagine what would have happened if they didn't have the halo?
Lewis would probably be drinking out of a straw or eating out of a straw right now.
Like legitimately, probably. And instead it's a nothing burger.
He'd at least be a couple inches shorter.
Yeah, he would. Oh, man, what a weekend.
Yes, it was. This is a great one. I'm going to say it might be recency bias, but I think this is the most exciting race of the year that I can recall at least. I don't know.
That I can recall, I would agree with that, but I think there's some recency bias in there because there's been some bangers in the front side of the year.
Yeah, there was. All right, well, we'll see. I don't know if Monza can hold a candle to this. I hope it does.
Monza's hard to pass. It is real hard to pass around this track.
So is Zandvoort.
So we'll see if the rookies and Lance Stroll come out to play again.
Yep, and it's immediately right after this. So it's this weekend. So we'll be back tomorrow already with the prediction pod for that. And I think that might be it. Dylan, do you have anything else?
That's all I got, Kurt.
All right. Well, for those of you watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and you hit that subscribe. For everybody listen on whatever streaming platform you're on, please leave us a rating and a review and share it with a friend if you can. Follow us on Instagram, Formula_America. But other than that, I think that's it, Dylan. So on that note,
stay classy, America.
We'll see you next time.